everybody. I'm here with the Darlings, and we're going to be talking about a new KMBC counseling minor, and they're going to tell us a little bit about that today. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Liz. I think this is a great opportunity for us to go ahead and announce that we are starting this new concentration within the Christian Ministry program here at KMBC. So we're very excited about it. The Christian Ministry program is a program where you can select two cognates, two minors in a sense, to build your major. And so you'll still be studying biblical studies. You can add on to that additional biblical studies, ministerial studies, missions, communications, music, discipleship, and now you can also add a Christian counseling / psychology cognate on that. And so we're very excited to start offering that this fall of 2020. And so the head of this cognate is my wife, Ruth Darland. She graduated with a Master of Arts in Clinical Counseling from Liberty University several years ago. She served for 1 year in a child and youth crisis center. She also served a year at an elementary school working with children on a contract basis within the school system. And then for about 5 years, she worked in a drug rehab facility, a drug rehab center, where she served there as a licensed counselor. And this last year, she got her supervisory license, so she has the highest Kentucky license that the state offers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ruth, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this cognate and what they can do with it and why they should enroll in the program.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we added this on because we found that there were a lot of students that, especially women, who might not want to be in the ministerial program or some of the other programs, and they just didn't kind of know where they could fit in, basically. And so anybody can use psychology or counseling in whatever field you go into. Because, I mean, what do you do that doesn't deal with people, right? So this helps you to learn how to work with people and to deal with them, and how to work with them, especially in a church setting or even a setting like I do, which is a clinical mental health practice. But in order to get a license with your state, in any state in in the United States, you have to get a license through your state, and then you need to get a master's to get that license. So every state is different for what they require. Some states require, I think, 48 hours of master's work, and some require 60 hours. But this would prepare anybody to go into a master's and then go on to licensure if they wanted to do that. And it can also work in a psychology field too. That's a little bit different. When you're studying psychology, you're not actually a psychologist until you have a doctorate in the area. So that's like a 10-year program. So this would actually help prepare somebody who wanted to go into a master's in psychology. So, but people who graduate with this degree are not necessarily licensed already to work in get a mental health clinical license, but they will be ready to go on and do their master's in that.
So they could come to KBC, prepare, and then go on to master's work. Is what Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what is maybe one of the benefits of studying this here at KMBC?
Well, so I actually did my undergraduate here before I went to Liberty.
Okay.
And I found that when I went there, I had a really good worldview that I was really prepared to deal with. There's all kinds, when you're dealing with psychology and counseling, you're dealing with all these different worldviews for how we think and how we operate. And a big part of that is the fact that we're all fallen and we have bent towards sin, and we teach that here, and you can incorporate that into your worldview, and then it really helps when you're working with people. If you come from that kind of mindset, rather than if you have a different kind of mindset that there's another idea where it's just our environment that makes us corrupt, but we're all good inherently. And so you'll find that in counseling, when you're working with people, if you have that kind of idea, it really doesn't work as you're trying to work with them, because the Bible tells us that's not true, and this is just how man operates. But coming here really helped me. I had a good worldview background, and it really helped me to just get ahead in the whole process. And then So that's why I think they should come here and do it.
Awesome. And Zane, maybe do you want to talk a little bit about how KMBC helps form students' worldviews and like develop that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So it's one of the benefits of attending a Christian college, and especially a Bible college, is that we're very focused on biblical training and a biblical worldview. And so in all of our classes, whether you're taking the gen eds, the math, the science, the literature, we try to take a Christian perspective on it and incorporate a biblical worldview. And how do we see the world of education? How do we see the world of science? And so that's one of the benefits of attending a Bible college. And here at KMBC, we have excellent faculty who try to develop you, and so that you can see the world through the biblical framework. And it makes the whole world make a whole lot more sense. And everything fits together better when we get the right structure that we can build on. And so we try to build that into the curriculum, and so that by the time that you graduate, you have a solid biblical worldview, a solid biblical understanding, and then we've prepared you for some form of ministry. So most of our students are in ministerial studies. We have a lot of them in missions, as well as elementary ed, as well as biblical studies that it's a little more broad, and discipleship, some other areas as well. But this program here too, we're talking about ministerial. That's one of the options to combine the cognates, ministerial and counseling. And so how might that benefit the student or the ministerial student?
Well, so I've been teaching at KMBC a few years now, and I've been teaching the counseling class and the pastoral counseling class. And every year, as I have pastors who are going through the counseling class, they say that if they've been a pastor for a while, they usually say they wish they had known this at the beginning and had taken this class earlier, because it really helps them work with all the different issues that they've run into. And then the ones who are getting ready to go into it, like, they can already learn this stuff before they sit there face to face with a problem that just kind of blindsides them or something. So
You have a little bit of a foundation there.
yeah. So, and I think in any kind of ministry, more and more especially, we have to become really good at counseling people, and to know how to lead them and help people change how they want to change and stuff. And so I feel like that's super, super important for anybody going into ministry.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So you've touched on this a little bit. So absolutely, like pastors, they want counseling. But what about other people who are like, I don't really want to do a master's degree, but I want to study the Bible, I want to be in ministry. How does this benefit them?
Well, I said this a little bit, but everybody in any kind of ministry is going to be counseling people. And so I'm actually not technically on staff at our church or anything, but I can't tell you all the people that come and talk to me for counseling regularly at our church that just want to talk to somebody who even knows a little bit about mental health, or knows a little bit about how to deal with depression or grief, or just all the things that people are going through and struggling with.
Yeah.
So I think this is super beneficial for, like, if you're going to just anybody in the church. So if you're going to be involved in your church, you're going to have people coming to you who have problems that they need help with.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything either of you would like to add?
We're excited about the program, and we would love for you to come and join us here on campus or online. We have a tremendous program, and I'm very proud of it, and we love our students.
Well, thank you guys for being willing to be interviewed today and for promoting this new thing that we're doing. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact the college. We'd love to chat with you a little bit about that.